Happy Harvest Festival. We have got a fun-packed show. I'm going to tell you all about it in a moment, but let's just say a piano's been set up and we are ready to have some, I think, great fun. No Harvest Festival would be complete without some Harvest Festival bangers. James Partridge is here and he is going to be accompanying us in our singing. Good morning, Mr. Partridge. You're going to be here accompanying our show today with some Harvest Festival bangers, for which you are very well known. And I believe we're going to start today with Autumn Days. Is that right?
Are we ready to sing?
Oh, we are ready to sing.
Let's go for it. Okay, so if you remember this one, it's the best song about autumn and the best song about planes refueling in midair. Autumn days when the grass is jeweled and the silk inside a chestnut shell. Jet planes beating in the air to be refueled. All these things I love so well, so I mustn't forget. No, I mustn't forget to say a great big thank you. I mustn't forget.
Oh, James Partridge, everybody. We're taking requests from James. We've got the one and only James Partridge.
Hello.
James, welcome to the show. Now, James, if you aren't aware of his work, James is famous for his Assembly Hall bangers. Is that correct, James?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And what a voice you've got. You've got people singing all over the country. You started putting up these Assembly Hall bangers online during the pandemic. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so I'm a primary school teacher, so it's not completely random. So I was teaching a lot of my pupils online during that time, and I was posting backing tracks for them to sing along to, and
lovely.
Trying to be resourceful. And because teaching online during that time was a little tricky with the delay, and let's just say the resulting sound was creative at best. But yeah, it came off of that, and I someone said, "Oh, why don't you put a few things on TikTok?" And I put a few kind of educational music videos on there, and then I actually put up my top 5 Easter hymns first of all, and Easter bangers, and then because as it was Easter Sunday that day, and then the next day I said, "Oh, that was quite fun. I'm just going to do my top 10 of Assembly bangers."
Right.
And I've been meeting up with a couple of my primary school friends that I went to primary school with, and one of my friends was getting married, and we were thinking, oh, what were all those songs we sang at school? And we were going listing through all our favourites, and then I had that fresh in my mind when I put up this list of top 10, and it kind of kicked off, and
it went absolutely stratospheric, didn't it? People went wild for it.
I was getting all sorts of comments like nostalgia unlocked.
Well, I think there is something about that. I mean, for a lot of us who remember when we did, I think kids do still sometimes sing songs, but I remember when I was at school, you sort of had to do a hymn every day, and a lot of them were great tunes. Yeah. I mean, whether or not you're religious, it's something about just singing together. It's a lovely thing, I think, whatever you sing. Yeah. And I mean, you've said about how it's a great way to bring people together, I think. And
100%. It was a great way to start the day, and when we were at school. But unless you sing in a choir now, or maybe if you go to a football match and you're singing in the stadiums, lyrics are probably not suitable for the radio. But there aren't really many chances to actually sing together, and the kind of the rush you get from just singing in a group of people, whether it's in tune, slightly out of tune.
Sure.
In the old days, you might have had everyone at the pub gathered around the piano, singing together, and that was kind of like a community thing. And as we're kind of all a lot more online these days, it's nice to just get a group of people into a room and sing some songs. It's just great.
I mean, talking about getting people into a room, you absolutely packed out the crowd at Glastonbury. I mean, it's one step up from a sing-along at school, isn't it? How was that?
Quite unexpected, to be fair.
Really?
Glastonbury put out a thing which was, apply here if you want to have a slot at Glastonbury. And I put in an application, and they said, school assembly sing-along at Glastonbury, okay, maybe not. It sounds interesting, but I don't think it's going to work. And then I went away. I thought, okay, it's fine. And I had a slot at Edinburgh Fringe this summer. And so I put together a little trailer for that. And I already had a ticket for Glastonbury. So I emailed them back once I put that trailer together and said, I'm actually going to be there anyway. Then they said, okay, let's give it a go. We'll give you a number of slots across the weekend. And I wasn't on any of the posters, and I don't think I was even on the app until the night before. And then there was a juggler on before me with a massive crowd. I thought, are they here for the juggler? And then I heard some people singing "He's Got the Whole World in His Hands" during the set. I thought, okay, I think they might be here for this. And I came on stage, and it was honestly like a sea of bucket hats as far as I could see. It's absolutely the most incredible experience.
Wow, that's such a great story. I love it. It feels like a film. Someone should make a film about it. How you brought back assembly.
It'd be like
singing.
The New Fisherman's Friends kind of thing.
Yes, it should be the sequel. Yes, well, I don't know what you would be. Yeah, the school banger's friend. Yeah, exactly. The choir master's friend. Yeah, how brilliant though. And as well, they didn't want you at first, and then they did, and then you proved them wrong.
Yeah, and I think what was amazing is that it wasn't kind of like, oh, let's go along to the people that came along. It wasn't kind of like, oh, let's go along, and this should be kind of like a bit silly. Everyone really got into it, and there must have been like 1,000 people there or something. I don't know, but there were literally people, as far as I could see, all absolutely belting it out as well. And so the first show I did was on the Thursday before all the main stages had opened, so everyone's kind of looking for something to do. And so everyone kind of descended on this tiny little stage in the corner of the theatre field. And people were sat cross-legged. People were kind of, by the end, everyone was on their feet belting out Sing Hosanna and all that stuff. So it was the most surreal and incredible moment.
People love it. People love the nostalgia of it. And if you are listening to this thinking, I'd like to go along to that, James, you're going on a tour.
I am, yes.
And it's going to be around Christmas time?
Yeah, so I've basically written a Christmas version of my show, and so it's actually going to be a slightly different version of the show to what I've been touring, and I'm going to be singing all the nativity classics,
Little Donkey.
Christmas carols, Christmas number ones, kind of telling stories about growing up in the 90s and all the presents we'd get from the Argos catalogue and all that kind of stuff. Of course,
those golden days, yes.
Yeah, so it is a Christmas version of the show, which is very exciting.
James, that's going to be brilliant, and if people want to come along to that, because I think at Christmas especially people love to do a bit of a sing-along with some carols, whoever Carol is. I used to work with a Carol, actually. I had a driving teacher called Carol, but she wasn't very festive. Well, she might be, I don't know, she wasn't particularly Christmassy. Anyway, that's by the by. But how do people get tickets?
So on my website, jamesbpartridge.com, it's got all the tour dates. Well, unfortunately / fortunately, most of them have sold out already.
James, you didn't even need to come in today.
Leicester Square Theatre, 23rd of November. There are lots of tickets there. That's just gone on sale.
Great. 23rd November.
Yes.
At Leicester Square Theatre.
It's a Saturday. I think it's a 4:00 show, so anybody can come.
Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect. Come along in full voice.
Yeah.
Not drunk.
Yeah.
Come along nicely. Now, everyone's very excited to have you here, including our very own Jane Middlemas.
I would like to put forward mine now to Tom and James. Now, when I was a little girl, I went to a C of E school in Bedlington and saw every Harvest Festival we got to sing. We had to learn it off by heart. All Things Bright and Beautiful, and then we got to church and sing it. And I loved it every single year, that particular hymn, but it does take me right back whenever I hear it.
The wild life of Jane Middlemas there, of course, serialised in her new book, My Life and Hymns, but she obviously loves All Things Bright and Beautiful, and, well, is that in your repertoire?
Yes, absolutely.
Does have quite an amusing lyric in the middle. I won't draw attention to it. But if you do want to sing along, go to @Virgin Radio UK. Right now it's on the stories. James, are you going to give us a quick rendition?
Yeah, let's do it. Here's a chorus and a verse of All Things Bright and Beautiful. So hopefully you can sing along at home. And it goes like this. All things bright and beautiful, all creatures great and small. Bright and wonderful, the Lord God made them all. Here's the verse.
Yes.
Each little flower that opens, each little bird that sings, He made their glowing colours, He made their tiny. Here's the chorus one more time. And all things bright and beautiful, all creatures great and small. Wise and wonderful, the Lord God made them all.
There we go. Do the rude lyric either. James, stay with us. We love having you here. Doing a bit of nostalgia, going back to what Harvest Festival was perhaps when we were at school. And joining me, I'm absolutely delighted to have in the studio the incredible James Partridge, star of Assembly Hall Bangers. James, are you having a nice morning so far?
I'm having an amazing morning. It's great.
Even that response felt like it was in the style of an assembly.
Absolutely. I'm sat cross-legged on the floor.
Yes, quite right, as I've made you do. And I've just been telling him some stories of wisdom. Do you do some of the stories from assembly in your tour show?
Not really. I do talk. Yeah, we had a Good Samaritan person come in, and they did the story about the Good Samaritan, and there was always someone. She would say, "Oh, the song that we sang was Would you walk by on the other side if someone called for aid?" And she asked us that question, and then there'd always be some kids out on the back bench saying, "Oh, I wouldn't," and you get dragged out of the assembly hall.
You outside.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then we'd all sing "Cross over the road, my friend."
Oh, that's a good one as well, James.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember. And also the terrifying people who'd come in from like the railway safety board or the fireworks safety people. Oh, my goodness. I'm still terrified of never pick up a sparkler. The trouble was I was like, I don't want to hold a sparkler now. I've heard these horrific stories about them. And then it would be fireworks night and everyone would have to have a sparkler. It was very, very scary.
We also had the kind of like GCSE drama style kind of workshops that would come in.
Oh, those were good.
Yeah.
The TIE, Theatre and Education.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, loved those with a bit of a moral. I remember some sort of story about everybody sitting at a table and all the spoons were too long to reach their faces, and so no one could get the food into their mouth, and everyone was starving. But the moral of the story was, if you help the people across the table with your long spoon, then everybody will eat.
This sounds like a fever dream.
I don't know if it was. I was very drunk, I think. But now, James, you've been playing some Assembly Hall bangers for us, and we've had a lot of requests since we announced we were going to do this Harvest Festival special, which again is unconventional. I don't like to think of myself as a maverick, but this is an unconventional thing to do on a rock and roll station like Virgin Radio. But a lot of people have been very excited about the song Cauliflower's Fluffy. Now, James, is this one you're familiar with?
It is an absolute Harvest classic. Yes, we have Cauliflower's Fluffy, and the original name for it is actually Paintbox. So if anyone is a real school aficionado, it's actually called Paintbox.
It's called Paintbox?
Yes, it is.
Oh, that's good.
Despite the fact that the word Paintbox is not featured in the song at all.
But it's good to let other people know that you know.
Exactly, yeah.
And do you have the sheet music in front of you?
I've got the words, yes.
Everyone stand by. The lyrics are, as ever, on the @Virgin Radio UK Instagram page. They're on. If you look at the stories, all the words are there. No excuse for not singing along. James?
Yes.
Everybody stand up, please.
Let's give it a go. And at the end of the chorus, everyone needs to do a big shh.
Okay.
This is Cauliflower's Fluffy.
Jazzy, isn't it?
Here we go. And cauliflower's fluffy, and cabbage is green. Strawberry sweeter than any I've seen. Peaches purple and onions white. All grow steadily day and night. The apples are ripe and the plums are red. The broad beans are sleeping in the blankety bed.
James, what a great song that was. I mean, that's been very popular with the listeners.
Very jazzy.
Very jazzy. Very jazzy. Jazz hands for everybody. And what is it sleeping in their blankety bed?
The broad beans.
Broad beans, delicious. Are available actually in blankety beds rather than just tins. Good to know, isn't it? James Partridge is here. James B. Partridge of Assembly Hall Bangers is joining us. James, you've had some messages, I understand.
Yes, I've had some good songs coming through. I've had...
Oh, is he? Oh, you're loud enough there, James. Oh, sorry, just twiddling with the mic. Sorry.
Yes, well,
it's my trick, I invite people on and I don't put their mic up.
This is great for the Harvest Festival, because at the school assembly, there'd always be some technical problem. The overhead projector wouldn't turn on. So this is actually, that was supposed to happen.
That's beautifully handled.
Yeah.
James, have you done live radio before? Because it really suits you.
Not much. A little bit.
Suits you, I think. Yes, I do remember the overhead projector often going. Or sometimes the overhead projector monitors would put the acetate on upside down, and we'd end up singing "Lamp Me and My Oil Me Give" or something like that.
Yeah, and the power went to their head, and they would try and lord it over everyone for the rest of the day.
Thank you for saying that. I always thought that they really reckoned themselves, didn't they?
I never got to be the OHP monitor.
neither.
This is probably why I'm doing this show, because it's some kind of therapy. Working my way through this.
How quickly we got to that nub of the matter.
Okay, so requests. I have had.
So, by the way, did you have certificates for walking into assembly? That was a thing in my primary school, which feels very kind of military, doesn't it?
No, that kind of just reminds me of kind of Cub Scout badges for putting your tie on properly.
Oh, yes. I wasn't very good at getting badges in the Cubs. I'd have things like first aid, and then I think there was one for housework. Got that one, didn't I? Yeah.
Well, they've changed now. There are new badges you can get, kind of social media awareness badges and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, wow. They've really modernised.
Yeah.
Sorry, James, you were about to tell us about your lovely messages you've received.
Yeah, I've had some great requests coming through. One of them is One More Step Along the World I Go, which is more of a Leavers Assembly classic than a Harvest one, but it is a banger.
It is a banger.
I've had You Shall Go Out With Joy, if you know that one.
Joy? Why have I got to go out
exactly.
with her?
I think she's friends with Carol.
James, you must come back.
So, anyway, that's a great one because that one gets faster and faster. So all the kids are going nuts with that one. It's basically the musical equivalent of Wet Play.
Yes.
Because there's no going back from that for the rest of the day. The kids are just bouncing
once
off
the
the
energy's
walls.
up.
Yes.
That's it.
And I've had a request from Teresa, Mrs. Brocco on Instagram, and she says Harvest Samba. Now, this is a newer Harvest song.
Samba? What is this, Strictly?
It pretty much is. Do we have piano? Yes.
Yeah.
The intro sounds a bit like Sex and the City. And it's about cabbages. It goes, cabbages and greens, broccoli and beans, cauliflower and roasted potatoes taste so good to me. It's another harvest festival,
Samantha,
where we bring our fruit and vegetables, and we want to share the best of all the good things that we've been given.
Wow.
It's a good one.
Festival, rhyming with festival.
I know.
Oh, James, you really spoil us. And who was that request from?
That was from Teresa.
Oh, and didn't you have the Archbishop of Canterbury or someone?
The Archbishop, let's see, the Archdeacon of Exeter
See, there
has
you
said
go.
that his assembly banger is One More Step Along the World I Go.
There you go.
Yes.
Well, we will be doing more Assembly Hall bangers, and we'll also be talking to the fabulous Emma Reevy, who's CEO of food bank charity Trussell. Well, as I say, we've been loving the nostalgia today as well. Yeah. But we wondered if you had a favourite hymn or harvest song.
I do. I'm quite old, so this is
Emma,
one of those
don't say that. There's no such thing as old. Have you heard some of the songs we're playing? Please.
I've heard that there's been some classics. I was remembering All Creatures of Our God and King.
Oh, that's a good one.
I don't know if James knows that one.
James is here with me. He's opening the book.
It is in Come and Praise. It's number 7.
Number 7.
Yes, it is. So if you're following along at home with your books, turn to page 11 or
page 11 or number 7
number 7 on page 11, or if you are 21st century, go on the app, I guess.
Or at Virgin Radio UK on our Instagram. Get ready to tease those keys.
There we go.
Everybody's
this is taking it back really old school, and this is also sung by Mr. Bean in the Mr. Bean TV show.
James,
if you remember that.
It in the style of Mr.
Let's give it a go. This is All Creatures of Our God and King, number 7.
Okay.
All creatures of our God and King, lift up your voice and with us sing.
Get ready, everyone.
Hallelujah.
Emma, do join in.
Hallelujah. Our burning sun with golden beam, and silver moon with softer gleam. Oh, praise Him.
That's Emma.
Praise
Him. Emma, thank you for joining us from Trussell. And thank you again, James. More of these bangers coming up. Lovely. And I've also been joined by fabulous James here from Assembly Hall Bang. Is that with your Instagram handle? So my Instagram is at James B. Partridge. So just my name. Yeah. And so the show is called Primary School Assembly Bangers Live. Live. And it's going to be on tour. Well, yeah. But the Christmas version of the show is called The Big Christmas Assembly. Exclamation mark. Exclamation mark. And that's touring around the country sort of throughout November and December, I think. Yeah, exactly. And you've got a big show in London on the 23rd of November at the Leicester Square Theatre. Yes. And people can get the details from James B. Partridge.com. Yes. Or the Leicester Square Theatre website. Fine. Go to those to proper sources for it. And
On the black market.
yes. Don't go anywhere dodgy for your tickets. But you I know have what I was going to ask as well. The crowd who come. Who comes?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a really good question. And this whole thing came about so organically and in a way that I never expected would happen, in that I started doing I literally did a one-off show in the Phoenix Theatre in Soho, in their underground cocktail bar.
Oh, yeah, I know, yeah.
And I had probably a few friends and family come along, and it was, a bit of fun. But I posted a clip from it onto socials, and people said, "Oh, that sounds really fun. You should, tour it around."
Yeah.
And then, so I went away and I kind of wrote it into a theatre show type thing. So I kind of tell stories and have a sing-along, and we go through all sorts of aspects of our various childhoods. And the thing that kind of surprises me is how many people had a very similar childhood growing up all around, not just England. I've been up to Edinburgh for the Fringe and all that kind of stuff, and in Wales as well. But anyway, I thought it'd be a lot of teachers coming along, but it's probably about 10-20% teachers, then everyone else is just up for a bit of a sing.
Bit of a sing-song.
Yeah.
And is it a raucous crowd? Do people get a bit merry?
Sometimes people have had their singing juice before before coming, so they're ready to go, which is great. But if it's not obligatory, but pretty much every venue I've played at said that it's one of the highest selling bars they've had in the interval. So, and that's a lot of it's from the teachers, to be fair.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure if anybody needs a drink.
The teachers are the worst behaved, actually, at the shows.
Is that right?
That's absolutely right.
Do you tell them it's their own time they're wasting?
Yeah, exactly. Fingers on lips and all that stuff.
Quite right. If they ask to go to the toilet, do you say you should have gone in the break time?
Yeah, exactly.
Quite right. Well, if you want to find James, head to Virgin Radio's Instagram at Virgin Radio UK, and also you can find the lyrics to the Assembly Bangers we've been doing. And what's up next, James?
We have a song which is not really a harvest. It's more of a Leavers Assembly classic.
Okay.
And this is called One More Step Along the World I Go. So we would be singing this while all our parents would be lined up along the back of the hall, just actively weeping, as if we're about to be sent off to war.
Yes, when it's just year 6 going on to...
Exactly. It's a classic. Should we give it a go?
James, we're all ready. And as I say, it's on Virgin Radio UK's Instagram.
Here we go. One more step along the world I go. One more step along the world I go. From the old things to the new. Keep me travelling along with you. And it's from the old I travel to the new. Keep me travelling along with you.
Me trying to add a harmony there. Oh, there was a bit of a clap there, but not very... James, that's a really good one, isn't it? It's quite uplifting.
Very uplifting.
Very uplifting. Well, you'll be playing more of those, I hope. You've been doing a great job on the piano over there. Thank you for wheeling up that grand piano as well. We are on the 17th floor here, and it's
carried it all the way up.
Really appreciated. We've got some great messages here now from Sharon Flack. Hi, Tom. Please play Now the Harvest is All Gathered. This brings back great memories of my son and daughter singing it in the school service at church, and now my granddaughter is at the same school. Well, Sharon, Now the Harvest is All Gathered. James, do you know that one? We don't. I do seem to have a vague memory of that one. Well, anyway, I hope you're having a nice harvest festival today. Alex in Devon says, I don't remember the Cauliflower Fluffy song at all, but my favourite at primary school was I Mustn't Forget. Please can James sing that one? Alex, we've done it. That was that was our opening number.
Oh, the harvest is gathered. I think it's Come You Thankful People Come. Da, 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 da. I think it's that one.
There's not a harvest song.
Yes.
That James Partridge doesn't know. He won't be out harvested.
Absolutely not.
Not our James. Joe, Elsie and Nigel have messaged to say, hey, loving listening to your show. It's helping me clean the house. As for Assembly Bangers, I mean, how do you hear the Assembly Bangers over the hoovering? Anyway, as for Assembly Bangers, taking me way back to my younger years, my absolute fave is Autumn Days. Please can you give my mother, father-in-law and Betty the dog a shout out and hope they have a fantastic week away. Well, there you go. Consider that shouted out. Shortly, Dick and Dom will be joining me because James has agreed to play one final finale song, and it's a big assembly banger. It is Oil in My Lamp. Please warm up your voices right now. Dick and Dom have now joined me and are now in the studio with James Partridge. Dick and Dom, welcome to Harvest Festival.
Happy Harvest.
Thank you. Thank you. That means the world.
I brought you an apple. I brought you an apple from my apple tree.
Now, you've joined us for a special sing-along. Our last song we're doing with fabulous James Partridge, who's joined us today. James, what song are we going to do?
We are going to finish off with one of the biggest school assembly classics, Give Me Oil in My Lamp.
James.
It builds to a crescendo of Sing Hosanna.
Oh, yes. Okay, James, take it away.
Dick and Dom are currently sat cross-legged on the school hall floor.
Yes.
They are.
Yes.
Don't
Around
embarrass me,
on
Dick
the
and Dom.
parquet.
Yes, exactly. The smell of yesterday's lunch is still in the air.
Yes.
The apparatus is up on the wall.
Of course it is.
Actually,
Yes.
one of you needs to be the overhead projector monitor.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
which
yeah,
one
I
would
like a
it
bit of
be?
that. I'll be
Yeah,
there.
be
Yeah,
Dick.
Let's give it a go. This is Give Me Oil in My Lamp. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Give me oil in my lamp, keep me burning. Give me oil in my lamp, I pray. Give me oil in my lamp, keep me burning. Keep me burning till the break of day.
2, 3, 4.
Sing Hosanna, sing Hosanna, sing Hosanna to the King of Kings. Sing Hosanna, sing Hosanna, sing Hosanna to the King. Give me joy in my heart, keep me singing. Give me joy in my heart, I pray. Give me joy in my heart, keep me singing. Keep me singing till the break of day.
2, 3, 4.
Sing Hosanna, sing Hosanna, sing Hosanna to the King of Kings. Sing Hosanna, sing Hosanna, sing Hosanna to the King.
Wow, amazing. Yeah. James Partridge is with me, and I will say that he has been an amazing accompanist. If you are not aware of James Partridge's work, his assembly hall bangers are simply phenomenal, and he is on tour, and you can go and see him. And he's also doing the Leicester Square Theatre on the 23rd of November, 4:00. So you could do that before going out on a bigger night
Have
out.
a few mulled wines.
You could have a few mulled wines there, couldn't you? Oh, I bet you could. But all the details of that are at jamesbpartridge.com.
Yes.
Yes, I knew it. And you're going to accompany us now for our playing out, I believe. Or what one will it be, I wonder? Maybe Autumn Days?
Yes.
Oh, go for it, James. Well, what a busy show